Bueno, no me lo puedo creer, va a ser la última grabación que voy a hacer para la clase de Year 13, 2017, 2017. A ver, feedback on la obra maestra. ¿Hasta qué punto se puede decir que la obra que has estudiado es una obra maestra? First thing then, I think you want to, and some of you got close to saying it, I've got Maisie's here, get in the idea that what is so amazing about this film is it combines this fairy tale and horrible historic event together. And there is a very good quote that Del Toro gave that helps you really prove that this is the case. And I've got it down here. So Maisie was saying, if you just look here, demonstrating that the film is not just un cuento de hadas, so she pointed it out as being one of the reasons why it is una obra maestra, and I think you then need to follow that with no está solamente un cuento de hadas, sino, and then a comma, como nos explica Del Toro mismo, like Del Toro himself explains, para mí, and he says this, and it's in your notes somewhere, and then you go para mí, and then you have to put, if you've got single speech marks here, then you'd put double here. El laberinto del fauno es, because there's something removed, un drama que tiene sus raíces, its roots, en un contexto de guerra, con elementos mitológicos y de cuento de hadas insertados. Ruiz, 2008. Bingo! Proved that that was his intention. In fact, that he has taken a historical moment and he has inserted the magical elements, as opposed to the other way around. So if you got something about the marco socio-cultural, he does in fact show the historical time of the post-guerra. Please remember it's post-guerra, not the guerra civil. Although you can say, we can see the consequences of a guerra civil, but we are in a post-guerra, and prove using that quote. So it's a great one to prove that he has taken historical moment and has tried to reflect that. So that would be if you were talking about marco socio-cultural. But equally, if you're talking about being an amazing film, or a reason why you love this film so much, if you got asked something like that, then please get in at some point that one of its key things that makes it so special. And do you know any of the films that do it like this? I can't think of any. Makes it so special, and therefore una obra maestra in this case, is that it combines the historical story with this magical interwoven, so we see it in a different way through the eyes of a child. Yeah. Getting across the idea of it being una obra maestra, we struggled a little bit on how to do this. I would suggest that what you do is, so we've got Grace's here, and she's done her introduction, and you can see what I've put here as a suggestion. And then I've suggested that underneath that you kick off with what an obra maestra is according to the Historia del Arte, which is the article I gave you, the key words. So how it would read if we're looking at Grace's. En primer lugar, Del Toro consigue crear una obra maestra. So I'm going along here, perhaps it's better if I highlight it for you. Bear with. En primer lugar, try again. Still not working, doesn't want to do what I want it to do. No change there then. En primer lugar, Del Toro consigue crear una obra maestra what have I put now? Que contiene, which contains, comma, según la licenciatura en Historia del Arte, 2012, todos los elementos claves de una obra maestra, entre los cuales está la perdurabilidad. Full stop. esta perdurabilidad se crea, and then off she goes, into a través de, so she's going to go back up to here, finish that off, se crea, and then where Grace was, a través de los meses, there she goes, okay? That therefore shows that you've based your decision on why it's an obra maestra on something else that you've read. And if you wanted to, you could go at the start, instead of saying entre las cuales está la perdurabilidad, you could just say los elementos claves de una obra maestra, que son, and then just list them straight after, one after the other. Perdurabilidad, what was the other one? Virtuosismo, can't remember them all off the top of my head, but you know which one, the four I gave you. Just literally go bang, 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 so you've established to the reader, these are the things that make up an obra maestra according to this source that I've read, and now I'm going to show you how those things are contained in the film. So in this sort of an essay, if you're about to kick off and say, or head off and say it's an obra maestra, I would establish at the start of your very first paragraph what are the elements that make up an obra maestra, and then it's quite clear why you've decided that, you know, later on it's got why you've been talking about perdurabilidad, or why you're even talking about innovación. Does that make sense? I'm hoping it does. Email me if it doesn't, but that's what I would put in for this one. Obviously, if you do put that mention in it, and you do make that reference to la licenciatura en Historia del Arte 2012, you will then also have to add it into your bibliografía at the end, and just put it, so you take the L, and put it in alphabetical order under whatever else you've got. So wherever L would come alphabetically with the others that you've got, put it in that position. It's only a 3-second job, that, and it's certainly going to impress the examiner if you're trying to say, I mean, just say you got the question about why is it such an amazing film, or why has it been so successful, you know, ¿por qué esta obra, en tu opinión, ha tenido tanto éxito? You could in fact say, because it is a work of art. Because according to these people, it's got these 4 elements, and then off I'm going to go and show you these different elements in action. Now, you don't have to do each one in turn. Please don't think you have to do it like that, because some of them go very nicely together. You know, innovación con visión artística, you could quite happily link together. I think perdurabilidad is definitely one that probably has to be... well, I could go with innovación because he does it like a film and cuento de hadas together. But you can see Grace's in a moment. I'll give you the whole essay for you to read through. She did a really good job at identifying and then proving those things, but I just think it needed that at the start. Okay. Next, so here's my little list of things I think I already gave to you. Some of these I've already talked about, so we can whiz through. Yeah, I can hear you say. Right, let's have a look then. So, there should be number 2 at the top, which hopefully you can see. El doctor no obedece. Yeah, we've talked about this a lot. You can't just put el doctor no obedecer. You've got to make it so that the obedecer grammatically fits in. So you'd have to say something like el doctor, and let's get a different colour. See if we can see this. Say niega a. He refuses to. You're not going to be able to read that. Let's change colour. Let's do it here. No, can't read that either. I should just go for red or something. Or blue. There we go. Or even just rub that out. There's me saying I'll whiz through it. Don't promise things you can't deliver. Right. Here we go. Se niega. He refuses to. Se niega a obedecer por obedecer. Please, when you talk about esperpento, don't just say el laberinto tiene un esperpento, or del Toro ha creado un esperpento. The director has never ever said that he has created an esperpento. It is our interpretation of what he has done. I mean, he may have, because he'll have been growing up as a Hispanist with that. You know, that'll be something he might have studied as literature when he was at school. But he hasn't ever said that, look here, I'm creating an Esperanto, so you mustn't present it as being Del Toro ha creado un Esperanto, or ha decidido crear un Esperanto. We don't know that. We're making an interpretation. It's a very good interpretation and it works. But you must therefore say, me parece que Del Toro creates, or ha creado un Esperanto. Those elements must be in, which show clearly that this is your interpretation of what you've seen visually on the film. Okay, so to continue to the next bit, 4. Again, quite a lot of you wanted to get the idea of el holocausto in, or you just said vemos un montón de zapatos infantiles, entonces parece que vamos a tener un holocausto. You've got to say more than that. That you're making the examiner do too much joining the dots together. He's not been in our lessons. She's not been in our lessons, and may not know the work. So you've got to give a little bit more to explain from zapatos infantiles how you get to holocausto, and this is the way I suggest you do that. So al colocar, so starting down here, al colocar, which means by placing, forget the el, un montón de zapatos infantiles al lado del hombre pálido, right? So that's your point. Parece que, again, this is us showing interpretation, although Del Toro did do this deliberately. Parece que Del Toro nos está advirtiendo de que, is warning us that if we don't stop, si no paramos a monstruos como el hombre pálido, Vidal, e incluso Franco, if we don't stop these guys, quizás terminaremos, we will end up in otro holocausto, or you could even say terminaremos en otro régimen nazi, just like we spell it, y en otro holocausto. Bien. 5. Yeah, when you come to Esperanto, so yes, I totally understood why you were trying to reduce the amount of information you were going to give and not give all the detail from that step-by-step guide that I gave you in writing about it. But there are certain elements you cannot leave out when you're writing about Esperanto. Because Esperanto is all about grotesquely deforming something so that we can actually see really how it is. And it's a criticism of something in society. So you cannot leave out anything to do with deforming and grotesque and therefore revealing something about Vidal, right? They have got to go in if you're going to bring in Esperanto in a shortened version. So you're going to, parece que Del Toro crea un Esperanto, then the brackets with what Esperanto is, just in case we've got a not very bright examiner and doesn't know what it is. Then you've got to say, so you've already set it up, so lo hace poniendo, but lo hace creando dos escenas casi idénticas. So you've got to get in how you've come to that conclusion. You've got the two identical scenes. They're both in front of a table, but it's not just a table, because there are other tables in the film. You've got to say, están sentados delante de una chimenea, enfrente de una mesa llena de comida. Key, must be into. Y este uso de Esperanto, or you could say el hombre pálido, no, así, perhaps, así Del Toro deforma Vidal, de forma grotesca, in a grotesque way, so I've got that key elements in, y expone, or reveals, or deja al descubierto, shows, lets us find out, todo el malvado que el capitán lleva dentro. So, crea el Esperanto y con la creación del hombre pálido, o el hombre pálido es una deformación grotesca de Vidal, or así, el hombre pálido. Are you with me on this? So we go first, he'd identified, it seems we've got an esperpento, brackets what it is. This esperpento is created by two more almost identical scenes in which we see Vidal and el hombre pálido sitting in front of a chimney, in front of a table full of food, and in this way we can see that el hombre pálido is a deformed, grotesque version of Vidal, which shows us, expone, revela, deja al descubierto, and then the key thing is todo el malvado, evil, que el capitán lleva dentro. It's the idea that el hombre pálido is like the inside of Vidal, you know? That's what it looks like inside him if we could see it underneath his skin. And so you've got to get that across. Okay? Again, if that doesn't make sense or you're stuck, just give me an email. But that's how to do a shortened version of Esperpento. But key elements that you can't leave out are the ones I've just mentioned. So listen to it again if you need to have that recap. 6. Estas técnicas. Some of you were talking about estas técnicas. Hacen que. You must make sure that the tense is make que, hacen que, veamos, subjunctive. Estas técnicas hacen que veamos, estas técnicas hacen que la película sea una obra maestra. So, hacen que plus subjunctive. One or two of you just wrote the introduction and then didn't do the final line. Well, one of you. You know who you are. So I know, you know who I'm speaking to. Please make sure that you don't just copy up the introduction and then there's not a final line. That final line of words, a phrase has got to tie to the question. 8. Yeah, right. When you start doing the leitmotif, please, when you say colores cálidos, straight away into brackets, give them. So the examiner knows that you know what colores cálidos are. So, el naranja, el rojo, y el amarillo. You put el in front of the colours. Again, if you did los colores fríos, you go brackets, and there are only really two, el azul y el gris. So, they probably, if you only just use brackets once or twice in the exam, are not going to bother counting them in your word count. One other thing I wanted to add is anybody with very large handwriting, so I'm thinking, Izzy, we've already talked about it, I would probably say Harriet Morgan. I probably wouldn't star every other line. Just write every other line, because otherwise it's going to look very long in your handwriting, and then they will actually start counting. And you kind of almost want them to not count. Well, you don't want them to not count. You want it to look about the right length, and then they don't count. So for you two in particular, don't do the starring every other line. Everybody else, it's entirely up to you what you want to do at this stage. And then colocar is a nice phrase to say, to place. So colocando el hombre pálido delante de una chimenea, o colocando el hombre pálido en una escena casi idéntica, parece crear un tipo de esperpento, blah, blah, blah. Okay? Vale. Now then, I have a small thing. Let's have a look. Let's just pause. We'll call this part 1.